Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Banter in the Box, episode 87. It's your game week 11 review. Just the two managers going into the transfer market this week. One of them, the league leader, going into the transfer market for the first time. And he went in big style, spending £10 million on two tactical gambits. And he's mined tactical gambit, which allowed him to purchase a player, even though that player already belonged to another family fantasy football league side. And he also spent £5 million on a wild card tactical gambit, which allowed him to make multiple transfers in a single week. And he decided to make 4. So that was all of just the two transfers, like I say, this week. And in this week's Banter in the Box, we've got your game week 11 winners and losers. The FFFL Cup preview this weekend sees the final round of FFFL Cup group stage matches after this weekend. As long as no Premier League games are postponed, after this weekend we will know the 16 teams that have made it through to the knockout stages in the new year. And we've got a manager of the season table. The who the fuck is that rolled over for a second week last week. Did anyone pick up those 2 manager of the season points? I will be revealing later. But the game week 11 winners, take a bow. The Mad Hatter. Creed Bratton Society manager, the Mad Hatter, climbed 1 place to 7th in the league table, and that's the highest that the Mad Hatter has been since all the way back in game week 2. Take a bow also, Ostrich Bar Stewards manager Steve Maloney. He climbed 2 places up to 5th, and 5th place is the highest that Steve has been since game week 3. Take a bow also, Poppy's Players manager Sarah Simon. Sarah climbed 1 place to 3rd in the league table, and the last time Sarah was as high as 3rd, the 24th of September 2020. It's been over 2 years, Sarah, and truly in the title race. But the biggest game week 11 winner, take a bow, I've got a life manager, Mops Hoxby. Climbed 3 places to 21st in the league, which made her the biggest climbers in game week 11. She scored a personal highest weekly total of 78 points, which was enough to get her first weekly win of the season, and 21st place is season high for Mops. So there your game week 11 winners, 1 manager of the season point to all of them. Your game week 11 losers, hide your head in shame. Benny United manager Mark Benwell, down 4 places to 9th, which made him the joint biggest faller in game week 11. And 9th is the lowest position Mark has been in since game week 3. Hide your head in shame, Coldplay United Martin Maloney fell 2 places to 23rd. That is a season low for Martin. Hide your head in shame, debut manager Mark Giggsy Collier. His Dial Square FC dropped 1 place to 24th, and in this, his debut season, that's the lowest position he's ever been in the table. But the biggest game week 11 loser, hide your head in shame, Sweet Foden Line FC manager Tyler Bown. He was the lowest scorers in game week 11 with just 22 points, dropping 4 places down to 6th, the joint biggest fallers, and 6th place is the lowest that Jordan has been since game week 3, where they had them 1 manager of the season point lost. So your FFFL Cup preview, they are the fixtures this weekend, and I'm going to give you my predictions in Group A. Poppy's Players take on strugglers Never the Boys. I see nothing other than a Poppy's Players victory there, which will leave Sarah Simons as group winner with a maximum 9 points. And Arden Diamonds coming up against Pez United. You know what? I've got a feeling he's just gone into the transfer market. He's getting a bit twitchy. The chasing pack are closing in on him. I've got a feeling that Pez might pull off a little bit of a shock and force a draw against Arden Diamonds, which would still be enough, albeit with only 4 points, to send Arden Diamonds through as the runners-up. But if Pez did win it, well, it would leave Never the Boys, Pez United and Arden Diamonds all on 3 points and would come down to goal difference. I don't think Pez will win it, but he might pull off a shock draw. Group B, Dial Square FC are already out. They play Juan Veron FC. I can see Juan Veron FC winning that. And in the other tie, Legends 23 take on I've Got a Life. I think this is going to be a victory for the inform I've Got a Life. If I'm right with those predictions, then Juan Veron FC, Legends 23 and I've Got a Life would all finish the group on 6 points. I reckon I've Got a Life will be group winners and Juan Veron FC will scrape through as runners-up, albeit on goal difference. Group C was a bit of a dead rubber between Thames Ironworks FC and Ted and Sam Juniors. They were playing for pride, both already out. I can see a Thames Ironworks FC victory there. And in the battle for top spot, Foxborough Foxes are taking on Abs FC. I think Foxborough Foxes are going to win that, which will make them group winners with 9 points. But Abs FC already know they're through. In Group D, Ostrich Bar Stewards are playing no happy endings. A battle of husband and wife, I'm predicting an Ostrich Bar Stewards victory there. And in the other tie between Norfolk and Chance FC, second bottom in the table, and High Flying Better Than the Diamonds, there's nothing other than a Better Than the Diamonds win, which would leave Ostrich Bar Stewards as the group winners on 9 points, Better Than the Diamonds going through as runners-up. In Group E, already qualified Grease Lightning take on already out Hatch United. Grease Lightning still needs a point to secure top spot. And I think he might get that point because I think this is going to be a draw between these two sides who aren't either of them in the best of forms. And in the battle to join Grease Lightning in the knockout phases, it is Sweet Foden Lion FC against debut manager Bantonio Conte's Barmy Army. I'm predicting a convincing Bantonio Conte's Barmy Army win, which would send him through as runners-up in that group. Group F, Coldplay United are going to get battered by Gobi Desert Canoe Club. And in the other tie, Napoli are going to beat Linden's Lovelies. And if that's true, it will mean Coldplay United, Gobi Desert Canoe Club and Napoli would all finish the group on 6 points. And it would come down to goal difference. I think Gobi Desert Canoe Club are going to go through as the group winners, with Napoli going through as runners-up and Coldplay United agonisingly missing out. Group G, the Big Knobs against On the Buses. It is another husband and wife sort of clash. I think the Big Knobs are going to beat On the Buses, which will delight Sarah because I've predicted her to lose her other 2 cup matches and she's won them both. I think she's going to lose this time to the Big Knobs. And in the other tie, Sash Hammers FC will beat Megan Hoxlade Chamberlain. If that is true, the Big Knobs, On the Buses and Hammers FC would all finish the group on 6 points. It would come down to goal difference. I'm predicting Sash Hammers FC to go through as group winners, On the Buses to scrape through as runners-up. And in Group H, Benny United and are already through, and Clockhouse Rangers are already out. I can see a bit of a shock here. I think Clockhouse Rangers are going to cause an upset and beat Benny United. He's got nothing to play for. And in the shootout to join Benny United in the knockout stages, it's between the Mad Hatter and yours truly. I've got to be honest. I think this is going to be really, really close. But I think the Mad Hatter is going to edge that one. And if I'm right, it will mean Benny United will be group winners with the Mad Hatters, the Creed Bratton Society, going through in second place. Play along at home, see how many results you can predict correctly. We'll find out next week. Who the fuck is that? It's rolled over last week, so it was worth 2 Manager of the Season points, but only 3 managers had a guess. On the Buses manager, Sarah Goodwin thought that was a picture of I've Got a Life manager Mops Hoxby. That's an incorrect answer, Sarah. Hatch United manager Neil Hatch thought that was a picture of Napoli manager Lee Poulter. That is an incorrect answer, Neil. And the Big Knobs manager Simon Hoxby thought that was a picture of Megan Hoxlade Chamberlain manager Megan Hoxby. That is an incorrect answer, Simon. So none of them got it right. It means the Manager of the Season table looks like this. Sarah Simons climbs into the top half of the table for being a Game Week 11 winner. Mops Hoxby climbs a place to joint third for being a Game Week 11 winner. And leapfrogs arch rivals Benny United manager Mark Benwell, who dropped to joint fifth for being a Game Week 11 loser. But it's still the Big Knobs manager Simon Hoxby out in front, but only by 1 point. And it could all change next week because we're rolling the Who the Fuck Is That over for another week. And it's now going to be worth 3 Manager of the Season points. A current Family Fantasy Football League manager pictured there. If you can tell me who it is, you'll get 3 Manager of the Season points. And remember, the Manager of the Season wins £15 million of free tactical gambits to use next season. Remember, only 1 guess per week per manager. Have a good week. Stay safe. Bye-bye.